What is up? It is Woody, and we're back with another episode of Gwent, and CDPR has just released patch notes for the upcoming patch. Well, it would have been yesterday for you guys. I'm doing this a little late at like 2 o'clock in the morning because crazy headache yesterday, and I just slept the day away. So there goes my first shift schedule that I was trying to get on. I'll never be on a first shift schedule. But yeah, so what we're looking at right now is a lot of BS, I think. Well, I have 3 cards in Skilliga I don't need. Or 3 new cards in Skilliga. Well, let's see what we got here. I've actually done this video about 3 times. Oh, just some Berserker. I actually got this off of Roundwind, which is kind of interesting because now I got 3. Not too bad, I guess. And oh, I got Shaw, and what else did I get? Anything? No. I don't know if I got this on camera last time. Holomater. That's a beast card. And I crafted a Morkvark because I wanted a long ship battle thing, and we might actually run this today if I do this in enough time. I'm not gonna go too in depth of what they're changing. I'm just gonna talk about what I think about the changes overall, because you can watch Merchant, Nox, Swim, all those guys, you know, bigger YouTubers. I'm sure you've already watched them by now if you play Gwent at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into what I think about the thing and some of the more detrimental changes like the bug fixes and stuff. As for card changes, listen, I think this was a gimmick fucking patch to shut people up. Because initially what they did is they didn't fix really anything. What they did was take the easy route around and say, oh, this thing has too much power and these don't. Well, let's just add more power to this one to even it out with this one. I think that's the wrong thing. Because now you're not looking at balance within the game, you're just looking at balanced power within the game. Whereas the tactics and stuff are still going to be out of whack, especially now that you're boosting power. It's going to be crazy out of whack. Let's get into some of the stuff and I'll talk about what I think about it. We'll just go point for point. Not card for card though, because you guys can check out the cards on your own and check out this list on your own. It will be in the description below if you guys want to check out this list, along with this Gwent terminology thing. Some things are not on here. I will try to find a better one though. There's probably another better one, but this says all the acronyms and things for you guys, like what Relentless is, Fleeting. I think this is a closed beta thing though that hasn't been updated, even though it said updating. But I'll put a link in the description below one you can do that is up to date, like for the where's it at, for the regressing that we're going to be talking about for Skellige. So milling cards, they're actually increasing it by 100%, which means anything that you mill will get double the scrap now. For example, the easiest example, common card, you get 10 scrap. Now from now on, you'll get 20 scrap. Same with epic. I think it's like 50. Or no, it might be rare. I think rare is 50, and then now you'll be getting 100 scrap off of it. Okay, so that's good for both. You think, okay, good, I'm getting more for my money, right? When you don't pay for anything because it's a free game. And then you're thinking, oh, it's bad for the company because now people are going to get more cards without paying for them. But actually, it evens out economically if you think at a business standpoint, which I have a business background. Because now more people are going to want to play because they're going to be able to get more cards, which means they get more keg sales initially for people that are willing to buy. So it all evens out in the long run. You just can't see it directly by that. So it's a really good business thing that they're doing here. Just like giving you free powder when things screw up. It's a business ploy to keep you there and go, oh, well, now I can make 2 more premium cards. I'll play for a little bit longer. And in that time that you play for a little bit longer, you might buy a keg or 2, which is, you know, you're buying packs pretty much, so like $5 a pop. So that adds up. Like, you ever go and buy, like, Mom, can I have 25 cents? And she's like, man, you always ask me for 25 cents. Oh, it's only 25 cents. Well, 25 cents adds up. That's what we're talking about on a bigger scale. Whereas by 25 cents by the end of the week, now you're at $1.25. By the end of the year, you're at like fucking 30 bucks from her. Okay, so that adds up, but on a bigger scale. Instead of 25 cents, it's, oh, they might stick around for $5. But if 250,000 people stick around for $5, that's a lot of money. So that's what they're looking at here. My nose, my cat's been running around, tossing hair everywhere. That disadvantage of having animals in summer. Like, my bed is covered in dog hair. I have to roll it constantly. Cards that got nerfed will be millable for 5 days after the patch for full cost. So if you got a card and you crafted it, what they're saying is if they nerfed that card and you crafted that card, you can, I think it's just in general, I don't think you have to craft. I think if you got a card from a keg or something that's, we're going to say crafted just to be safe. None of this is in stone, so just look at this and go, this might be what happens. 90% of the time, 90% of the stuff is what's going to happen, but they're playing right now and they're like, oh, well, that ain't going to work. So they might change it. So just be aware of that. This is some of the stuff that's going to stay, I believe. This one is definitely, because this is like a, hey, if you crafted this and we nerfed it, we're going to give you your shit back. So that's pretty much what it is. Whatever you crafted it for, they're going to let you mill it for the same price. So if you crafted a card for 200, you can now, and it got nerfed, you can grab that card and say, I don't want it no more, it's nerfed, and then mill it back for 200 more scrap, or whatever you paid for it to mill it, or to craft it. People who bought kegs will get some additional scrap. So if you bought a keg, and something like that, you get some extra scrap. I don't exactly know what they're talking about. Maybe if you got one of these nerfed cards in the keg, you'll get some extra scrap or something like that. Or if you just bought kegs, I don't know what that means exactly. Only way of obtaining leaders are now in challenges, and crafting. So the only way you can get a leader card now is from the challenges and from crafting them. It used to be where like, oh, I played the challenges, now let's go open some kegs, and you get that leader card in a keg, and you're like, damn it. Which you still got the scrap and stuff for, right? But now you can't do it. You won't get it in a keg. You have no chance to get it, which actually increases the RNG of other cards. Because you took out now 6 leader cards, right? Is that what it is? No. Is that what it is? 6 leader cards? No, 10 leader cards. Sorry, I think it's 10 leader cards. I haven't counted. But now you took out that RGN from that number, and now it increases the overall RGN of other cards, like other legendaries and stuff. So that's actually a good thing for the player. And it's a good thing in general that you don't get a duplicate card anyways, because these are leader cards which you can get free in the game without having to buy a keg. You pay for a keg and you get that card, you're like, fuck that. It sucks. Okay, so now you actually have an incentive to do the challenges now that you can only get them, or, I mean, if you want to waste like 800 scrap, whatever, go ahead and craft them. Lost powder and challenge refunded. Okay, so if you did a challenge and you lost powder, you'll get that back. I don't think I lost any powder. Maybe if you I don't know, maybe if you use powder for a challenge to create a card and I don't know exactly what that means. Dagon and King Brand challenges are now fixed, they're not as hard. It is totally plausible and possible. No, I won't say plausible, it's totally possible. I'm sorry, I'm itching my nose so much. I got cat hair floating around, like, I mean, go like this, like I got like 10 little cat hairs and stuff, and that's what's doing it. Damn cats. We all know how she likes it. She hasn't got on my desk today, actually. Let's keep going. If you can actually beat this with the starter decks. I've done it. I beat them all. Every challenge I beat with just the monster deck. Okay, starter deck. So it is possible. It did take me like 12 times to beat Dagon. Bran I didn't have a problem with. But Dagon, yes, about 12 times. It might have took me a couple times with Bran, actually. I wasn't counting. But Dagon was the one I was like, Jesus, I want to smack the shit. I sat out for 2 hours playing that damn thing. So that's been fixed. They're all easier now. And they all have they've changed the challenge decks that they have. I think just so they made them easier a little bit. Improved tooltips. Tags standardized. So I think that they just kind of like, the way things were written in the tags, they standardized it, and made those tooltips easier. I think this was they mentioned something about the different languages. I think that was probably what that was about, is making them easier for the system to read the other languages. I'm not sure exactly though. Fixed connection issues. Rage cannot play this game because of this. So I've sent him a message and say, hey, they're going to fix this in the next patch. And what happens is when it gets on, it says connection interrupted, or service interrupted, cannot connect to server. And it will not let him log in at all. Now, some people get the issue where they can log in after a couple tries. I don't get it at all. I do not disconnect at all. I don't think I've ever disconnected. So, but for slower internet connections, I assume this would probably be a problem. But yes, this is going to be fixed supposedly now. Agile disloyal units couldn't be played on all rows. So, typically, if you could place a disloyal unit on any row, there was a bug where it would only be able to be placed on the archer row or something like that. Now that's fixed. This guy's mad about Frost being unchanged, obviously. because why would you put that? Frost is unchanged. All mages changed. I think they boosted most of the mages and made them more playable, like more fun to play with, and more plausible in more situations, you know. Like it says, Death Mold and Water Hag buffed by 1. You didn't see these other cards, but they said there was more changes going around, so I'm assuming they probably boosted all of these guys up to, like, I think a 4. And there's a couple mages that were above 4, just a couple, which they might boost or nerf down. We'll have to see in the future. Cards that buff mini cards don't buff disloyal units. There's 2. Let's look at this real quick. We're looking at scoia'tel real quick, and we're looking at this card right here. And it says this step farther down the list. It will say she Dragoon now boosts only loyal units. But it's talking about all over. Any card that boosts units in your hand or something like that, or mini units, random units, will only boost loyal units now. So if you got a spy in your hand, it's not gonna boost the spy. Okay, so that way you don't have to worry about it throwing a 20-point spy on my side just because you boost random units, which is never gonna happen. I got like the hiccups or something. So she will only boost loyal units. And there's another leader card for Northern Realms, it's him, Fultis. Boost all units in your hand and deck by 1. This will only target loyal units now. If you have a spy in your Northern Realms deck with Fultis, it will not boost the spy. It will only boost loyal units now. And I say now as implementing into the patch, okay? So note that. All right, so that's pretty much all like those things. Not all value changes are covered and stuff like that. I'm hoping they don't keep all of them, and we'll talk about some in a minute. Ragnarok and Drought damage went from 3 to 2. These are for crybabies. Typically when I went around with the Ragnarok, and it has saved my ass a lot of times, it's not because it's OP. It's because I played my cards to run out their first light. They can't first light me and take away the Ragnarok, and I usually win by more than 9. I'm going to tell you that right now. So it doesn't, oh, let's throw Ragnarok last, and bam, 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 9 points, I win. No, it usually doesn't happen like that. Now, that is a huge play, don't get me wrong, but if you weren't playing for a Ragnarok to be thrown, then that's your own fault. That's just like playing a 9 card and winning, right? I mean, I could have played a 9, I could have played, let's just say I'm down by 7 and I throw a Ragnarok at the last turn, you have nothing to play. That Ragnarok didn't win. It did initially win the game, but if I would have had a Griffin, that would have tied it up or something. You know, and it's not the Ragnarok that won. It's the way you play the cards. And this goes into the rant I have about Nilfgaard. A lot of these people that are playing the game, 80% of them can't play. Okay, I will tell you that right now. Because that's why we see so many net decks in the meta. Because they see their YouTuber, they go, oh, this is a cool game, and they play it and well, this is really fun. Of course it's fun because you're playing a YouTuber's fucking net deck, the net deck that won the damn championships, and it's a very good deck. Okay, you can obviously anybody can play with a good deck. Doesn't make you good at the game. Obviously, that's called that. I don't want to use the wrong terminology, but I want to say it's kind of like pay to win. Okay, anybody like in any RPG style thing can buy all the extras and win the game. That doesn't mean you know how to play the game. Playing the game means I take Ragnarok, I use it in my weather deck, I play all my weather to play out Ragnarok at the end, waste your first lights, and then play Ragnarok knowing you have no first lights for the whole third round, okay? So I play your deck, and that's what gets it won. But like Nilfgaard is like, that's why you see the same thing over. You're just rolling through the motions, is what it's called. Playing those cards, and you see the same exact things. And even on YouTubers things, you watch because the meta is so strong with CCGs, and you'll see them go, okay, now he should play this, now he should play this, and he does, because that's the way the deck's played. And that's not a bad thing, but that doesn't mean you know how to play the game. That doesn't. And of course they're like, oh, we want to balance it and keep all this stuff like the golems popping out and the spies and stuff because that's what's fun. But of course it's fun. Winning is fun. No one's denying that. Charlie Sheen is winning. You know, so it's not, it's fun. Of course it is. Man, cat hair everywhere. I'm sick of it. I gotta clean my room tomorrow and sticky roller it. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying is you get a lot of that stuff, and that's like Ragnarok. You see these people that don't know how to play, and they're the ones bitching about Ragnarok and drought and stuff. You don't see bigger people and the people that know how to play bitch. They're like, I got fucking Ragnarok. Oh god, obviously. Okay, and then I couldn't do nothing about it because I'm stupid and I couldn't save a first light. Or even like if you see me, you go, I'll go, Jesus, I knew I shouldn't have used that fucking first light. You know, it's my fault. Where typically they're playing the game and they get hit and they're mad about it because then they can't finish their roll of the dice that they, or roll through the motion that they wanted to do because I countered it. So that's what they're mad about. I don't think this will make a effect, of course, but I don't think it'll make a dramatic effect because I'm still going to play this. I'm still going to play Ragnarok. People are still going to play Drought. And I'm still going to waste your first light and then play Ragnarok and you're going to get hit for 1 point less each turn for each row. It's still going to kill you. I'm still going to play it right to kill you. That's what I play for. I don't play to just hit for power. Nobody does if they're playing the game right. Okay, so Yennefer and that was my rant about Ragnarok. My chance. But I know it's a big thing. You might hear the puppies. They're all whining, they're eating. Skilga, storm effects from left to right now. That is a tactical play, so people cannot protect from the right. But you can still kind of protect from the left a little bit less than the right. It's more of just a tactical professional play. You'll see it and how it affects more. It's really hard to explain how the tactical works of that. And I could go into it a little bit more, but I'm going to keep going. Gotro Dim, this is a card game. I don't know. He's the guy that plays a game that you draw a card, and I think I haven't really played him, so I don't know exactly what he does. But if you get a tie, you both draw a card. If you win, you get the card. If your opponent wins, he gets the card. Now it says they both draw a card if you get a tie, but the card actually says you both draw a card if you get a tie already. So if we go here and go look at this and go, I don't think he's Northern Realms. I think he's normal, yeah. Alright, so if you look here, it says tie, both players draw a card. I think they're taking away the gold is what he meant to say. I remember them saying something, but I can't remember what it was. So you have to go look at the live stream for that. Alright, so Skilliga Storm, Yennefer, Unicorn, and Chironex are gold now. I think this is mainly so you cannot clone them or copy them and put it at the... There's one card that copies a card. I can't remember what it is. But I don't really see a benefit to this, or a disbenefit, I guess you say. I think this is how it was in the closed beta, so they just changed it back to that for some reason. Necker up to 3 from 2. I think the monster decks got a huge buff that they don't need. I think, like I said, it was just to match up the power, and I don't think it needed to be like that. I think they needed to make it more tactical and just drop some of the power, leave most of the power the same, drop some of the more OP things, and then kind of balance it in between tactically. Karen got a nerf. I've been using him a lot. Karen is, I think, is how you pronounce it, not Karen. I think everybody pronounces it Karen, but it's Karen or Karen, something like that. But you see, you get Katacon, you got Arrakis, you got Unseen Elder, who all consume, and you boosted them. I mean, like, now consumption is just, you know, these are going to be OP in a monster consumption spawn deck. I already got one budget planned out for you guys after the launch of the patch, so you'll be seeing that, I promise you, as long as I can get a couple, like, I think I want Woodland Spirit too. He's not going to go into this deck, but I got a nice little budget consume deck for you that should be pretty OP on the ladder, with the Katacon and the Karan and the Unseen Elder for the most part. This is not going to hurt you too much, 8 to 10. Obviously it's not going to be a high 25, which most of the time is what you get, but if you can actually take this and him and then unlock one and eat the other, then you're getting a huge boost on a gold card. And that's the plan we're going to kind of have here, along with the Katacons, eating other things like the bear and stuff, which are neutral cards for Blood Curdling Roar. So I have it planned out. I want to wait till the update, like I was saying, for most of you guys. It will still be an open beta, I think, but I think we're going to be... I don't know. I'm gonna save my mill permanently from now on, other than when I scrap these or do these. These really don't affect me. I'm still gonna play the game regardless. Unlike some people, like, oh, it's nerfed, I'm not gonna play it ever again. All right. So another thing that affects me a lot, I don't know about you guys, it will affect a lot of Skilliga players, is Clan Brockbach Hunter now had a veteran tag removed and is regressing. So no matter how much you boosted him up, it was strengthen him by 1 every time a damage unit is adjacent to him. So if you put him in a frost, it would boost him by 2 strength wise, right? Now regress, what regress does is the same as the long ships. My plan was long ship, Morkvarg, and Hunter. The ship would hit Morkvarg. When Morkvarg died, he'd come back, and we'd have to use a deploy to put him back in the middle if we wanted him to. But usually it was the end of the round by then. But I could use my strengthen to keep Morkvarg alive. So I'd strengthen all 3 of them. What is his name? Okay, let me go into here real quick, and I'll kind of show you what I was talking about. And this is why it affects it so much, because it's a huge play. Oh, puppy dogs, don't cry. Don't cry, puppy dogs. I love puppy dogs. Alright, so let's just get in here. I think it's a 5. So let's just see. Light longship, damages unit by 1 and boosts itself by 2 each time. Okay, here. Clan Hyman Scald. This guy boosts 3 adjacent units by 3, 2, 1. So initially what you could do is have your ship, Morkvarg, and the hunter here, and then place him and it'll strengthen him, and you can keep strengthening him with spores or whatever you want to strengthen him with, the shieldsmith or whatever, okay, to keep Morkvarg alive for that round at least. But then by the time this round is over, you had a fucking level 15 hunter that was in your graveyard. Now, the risk of being stolen by a Nilfgaard, Vicavar Medic or something, was a real risk, okay, if you're playing Nilfgaard. So I think that's why they took it out, and now it will just drop back to this base unit is what regression is. Because like the longship is regressing. No matter how much you boost it or strengthen it, when it goes to your graveyard, it's going back to 5, okay? That's what regressing means. So that's a big thing. That really stops the second round pull with the Freya for him. And if you have a chain of them where it's doing him and another one off 2 longships or 3 longships even, light longships of course, then you, man, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be really bad. You lose a lot of power there. He is going to actually weaken himself by 1 every time now. So instead of a 4-point play, you're kind of getting like a 7-point play, which is initially his card strength, which makes more sense. He boosts 3 adjacent damaged units to the left, and his effort makes him weaken himself by 2 for every unit. So you drop 6, boost 9. So initially you're only boosting 4, or the play is only for 4, but these guys are now boosted. He's at a 1, and they changed that, so now he will be at a 4. These guys will be boosted, and then you're initially having like a 7-point play, I think is what it is. So yeah, so that's a good fix. I think I bitched about him and pulled him out of my deck because of that, because it was kind of a waste, you know, having him in my deck. I could use when the Scald, I could just put Shieldsmith too. He's a 5, boost by 2, no effort. That's a 7-point play. Then you got your Scald, which is he's a 4, boost by 3, 2, 1, which is 6. So that's a 10-point play right there. You got those 2 options you could fill instead of just putting him in there for 4. So there was other better options. So yeah, and then Morkvarg I crafted, so he's really good. He comes back every time, weakened by 3. So if you keep him alive and strengthened, he keeps coming back, you know, the same power. So that's a good thing. That's why we like Morkvarg on the long ships and Clansmen, but that's going to change a little bit. So let's keep going. Berserker, Clan Crate Warriors up from 9 to 8. I think they should just take the veteran status off him and then keep him at an 8. Savage Bear. This is huge now too. Savage Bear, what happens is he hits every deployed unit on the opponent's side by 1 when they're deployed. And we were having problems with Freya and Dodo, and every person that comes out is 1 with a deployable. Vicavar Medic, Freya, Dodo, Dodu, however you want to pronounce them. When they came out, you couldn't use their deploy because the bear would instantly kill him. Now what they've changed is the bear does not execute till after the deploy effect is executed. So now you put Freya out, the bear doesn't kill her. You put Freya out, and now you can pull the graveyard. You put Vigavaro out, you can pull the graveyard. You put Dodo out, you can copy the other unit. And then the bear will hit and kill the Freya, the Vigavaro, or just damage the Dodo, and stuff like that. So the ploy effect will be before the bear effect from now on. Queensguard got veteran tag removed. Not a huge deal. Usually play Queensguard first or second round, not really third, unless it's a desperate advantage, or you don't get a Freya. At least in my what's the word I'm looking for? In my experience there. Catalan Sergeant, a lot of Northern Realms boost, I think. What they try to do with Northern Realms is they added this crewman tag to a lot more. And what crewman does is a crewman is a tag on some of the people. Let's look it up real quick. Woody's elevator music. And for sure I know this guy has it. Where is he at? This guy. Okay, he's a crewman. Okay, so if we look at him, he's got the crewman tag. Boost each ally by 1. His stuff doesn't really matter. He just, as long as he has this tag. What it works with is the machines like Trebuchet and stuff like that, and Ballista. Okay, so fresh crew. Every time we put that crewman guy out or anybody with a crewman tag, this will repeat its deployability, which is pick an enemy and damage it. So every time you put the crewman out, a new crewman out, it will use this deployability. So it just sets there until you put a new crewman on it. Not on it, just on the field. And another one is the Trebuchet, the original Trebuchet, not the... Oh goodness, where is it at? Is it Trebuchet, right? No, it's... How do you spell that? It's this one, regardless. TRE, let's put TRE in, because there's a couple. Now this Trebuchet Reinforced does not have a crewman. It hits once every turn. This Trebuchet, on the other hand, has a deploy ability where it damages all units on a row on your opponent's side by 2, ignoring armor. Now, if you put them out and you put a crewman on there, and you have 3 of these guys out, so initially you can pick them up, or you just really need 1 for an effective advantage. You put 3 guys out for crewmans, right? And then somehow, okay, that increases the damage by 3 right there if you got 3 crewmans out on this guy. So now the deploy, okay, is up to 5. So you're gonna, if you can deploy this guy again, let's just go through the standards. So we got to deploy it up to 5 now. So for every guy on the row, it's gonna damage him by 5, okay? So now we find a way to move all his guys to 1 row. Use decoy, pick up the Trebuchet, put him back down, and then it should deal 5 damage to everybody on that row. I would think is what that does, or just in a way to deploy his trigger effect. I do think decoy would reset that. I'm not sure though, but that's kind of like just like a way you could use it. As long as you can get that deploy to trigger after the crewman, and move them to 1 row, it's a catastrophic event for your opponent. I don't play Nilfgaard too much, so I'd have to go more into playing it to understand how it works exactly. But that's initially what they did. Tried to add the crewman more to make it work with machines better. Priscilla can now be shelved in the deck instead of the bottom, so it's easier to get Priscilla out now. Siege towers, oh my gosh, so if you play a crewman on a siege tower, it boosts it by 3. So every time you put 3 siege towers out and then put a crewman out, you get 9 boost off of it. That's crazy, right? So that's another advantage. And they boosted it up. Say, with the crewman tag adding to more people, I don't think they should have boosted siege towers up. So scoia'tel, not a lot. This is not affected by gold effects now. Every time you play a special card, this guy gets a boost. Right? I think, yeah, it gets a boost. So initially, if you have 3 of these guys, you can typically play 14 power on 3 of these guys and play them as a game finisher. But now, gold effects like his gold weather and stuff like that will not affect this guy, only regular effects. Let's see, mostly just boost. Nerfed as a spy, yep, so that's a boost actually. There's the Dragoon where it only does loyal units. Okay, so this guy used to move a guy from your side, an ally on your side, to his row and boost him by 3. Now you can also move enemies, but it will not buff the enemy. So you just pretty just moving enemies around with him too, or do the ally and get the boost. I mean, it's one or the other. Commander Neophyte armor removed. So Neophyte's armor has been removed. He's at a 6, I believe now, with 2 armor, or he might be a 7 with 2 armor. Either way, the 2 armor is gone. Mock'em Defender. Boost an ally by 3. If it was a dwarf, you could do 5. This is not Defender. This is oh, what one is it? It's Guard, I think it is, or Protector, or something like that. Let's go. Chauvi. Yeah, Guard. So it wasn't a Defender. That's a mistype. Boost an ally by 3. If it's a dwarf, boost by 5. This will be dropping to 4 for a dwarf instead of 5. Because I think Scoia'tel has a lot of boost capabilities, so I think that's a good thing. Nilfgaard, John Calvert is down to 3. Vikavaro Novice is down to 1. This is going to be huge because now when you use your little 10 spy to add 10 more, at least you're only getting 8 more in theory. Vikavaro Medic added the Doom tag. This is amazing, so you can't pull Vikavaros. Imperial Golems down to 2 to 3. I didn't really have a problem with Golems, maybe in the higher ladders, but you don't see them too much in the lower ladders. It's you really go for the Vikavaro Novice is what we see a lot of. Ambassador Bug Fix used to give 12 strength with Vikavaro medics doing it, or Novice doing it. Now it will only give 10 now. You cheaters. That's why you guys play Nilfgaard so much, right? For the bugs and glitches. Foot Soldier's Bug Fix, when immediately killed, when revealed the ability when at target. Draw. Alright. Peter got nerfed. I think that's a good thing because Peter's usually used as a power play if you know how you're playing. Wait till they get a huge unit up. Maybe carry it over and then reset it. When they say I build a unit up to 24, say my guy, that other guy, had like a 34 power unit on the first play, and I had Peter in my hand. Obviously, I'm not going to drop him right away. He's going to carry them over. That's why he's boosting them up. So and then he resiliences them, carries it over, and I throw Peter on him first play. Now that drops him down to base unit. Okay, so that's a huge play for Peter. So I don't think you're not really playing Peter for power. You're playing Peter to gain back power. Is what you're doing, or de-evolve their power that they think they're gonna win on. Because once you get a 34 power and you draw it over, you're like, oh man, I got 34 power for the next round. He's going down, and I throw a Peter on you, and it's like, oh shit, back to a 4. Now you kind of have to rethink your strategy that you just built upon. So that's what he is. So the 4 is 4 from 6. I don't think that's a big deal. Van Hamer up to 4 from 3. Vago changed to 1/1 spying. Rain Farn or something. It's not Rain Fane, it's Rain Farn. We all know him. His gold card. Just to change that. Ekbert, Tibor is down to an 8 from a 10. I think this card just needs to be taken. Let's go to Tibor. This is a huge one. This will be the last one we look at, and I'll probably end the video. This is what pisses me off because I've lost so many games just because of this card. It's huge. Tibor. Alright, so Tibor, bud. We got Clash. Deploy Clash, okay. So he boosts self by 15 if no one has passed. That's not hard. You throw him at the beginning of the round and you got a 25-point card. And even if I pass, really 10 points is a lot. Even 8, so they're dropping him down to 8. It's all good overall, but this card is not played out of its turn. It's played beginning of the round. They know they got the lead. It shuts down the round. It shuts down the round. Third round, if you make the third round, you've won 1 round. You throw this card, you got the game. Most of the time, 99% of the time. And it's killed my game third round every time. So it strengthens self by 15 if no one has passed during that round. So if I pass and you throw this card, it's staying at a 10. If neither of us have passed, you throw the card, it's going up to 25. Then your opponent draws and reveals a bronze card. A bronze card. A bronze card. Ooh, I got shackles and you got a 25 gold card on the field. Fuck you. That's all I gotta say. This card needed dropped to like, I don't think you necessarily need to drop it too much. You need to take down the boost. Or, okay, see what I would do with this card. Clash boost by 10. Keep it at 8. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with 8. It needs to go down to an 8. Boost 10. Okay. That's still 18 points, dude. That's still a game changer, regardless. But it's too easy to deploy. Like Karen, he goes up to 25, but I have to consume another card, or else he's just at 18, correct? Well, no, even if I don't consume a card, he's not at 18 at all. He's at 10 until I consume the card. That's what gives me the extra boost for the 8, because I've consumed a card. So I take my card advantage away, but I get the boost for him. This guy takes nothing away. You automatically get it, other than I get a card, which may be good. But even if this is your last card, I got 2 cards in my hand on round 3. You draw me a card. We're 3rd round. What are the chances of me getting a good card? Ooh, I got Ragnarok. Ooh. Okay, let me play that Ragnarok on your gold. Not happening, right? I mean, like, unless it's Shackles and I have a Ragnarok in my hand, then I have, and it's still, you got the advantage. You got the advantage. This card needs to have, like, discard a card or something like that, or drop him 8, do a 10 boost, or what else was I gonna say? Make him silver. Make him a silver card. You know, make him killable. I think is what needs to happen, or make it 25. I don't disagree, but a 1st round play. Make it so instead of Clash being if no one passes this round, if no one has passed at all. Okay, so he has to be played in 1st round. Then, okay, you get the 1st round. Okay, that's good. With 1 card, that still gives you card advantage, right? That still gives you a boost. That still gives you a huge beneficial thing on the game, but it's not a game ender. It can be played around. Whereas you throw this at the end, you've both won 1, you're losing this fucking round. Most 90% of the time. Unless you have another power play you've stacked for round 3. I mean, but at that point, I highly doubt it. It gives you, it doesn't take away, it gives your opponent card advantage, but it doesn't get played 1st round. That's what I'm saying. Like at round 3, that card advantage really isn't there. You've already won with this card. So you don't throw it mid round 2 and then give you enemy card advantage, unless you're losing and you have to throw him. But yeah, I don't like this card at all. It needs something done with it other than dropped by 2. And it's a huge played card, so it does really need fixed. But yeah, on top of all the other cards on Nilfgaard, maybe with the balance it'll be a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see how much it gets played after stuff like that. Maybe if you can win round 1 and still have some power with their spies being reduced and their Mikamaru novices being reduced, then this won't affect you so much. So we'll see. We'll see if that helps. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I just want to go through some things with you. Those were the main things. You can go check these links out in the description below, and you can go check I'm pulling everything up. You can go check the acronyms and the common terminology for this. I will have a better. Has not been updated for open beta. Okay. This document instead. Oh look, hell, I found it. Ta-da! Okay, so I will actually link this to you guys. And credits go to whoever made this. This is actually on like a keyword card term. So this will. Oh no, thanks. Come on, man. I don't even know what I'm at. I'm on Google Documents. I haven't used this in forever. They've changed it. So they actually show pictures too, so you guys can check that out. I'll put this in the link description below, and along with the updates and stuff on here, and you guys can check it out. Okay, so I'll catch you guys in a later video. I'm actually gonna go play some games for you guys too, and play some Minecraft for you guys too for that video. So definitely like, share, and sub, and it really helps out. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys later. Woody out. Peace.